everyone, I'm the Vacuuminator,
I'm Buster.
and this week in Toku, we're going to be discussing more Dino Fury episodes than you can shake a Zed staff at, one of the biggest Godzilla figures in years, and tons of P-Bandai shit. But before we get into all that, Buster, how's your week been?
It's actually been... I don't know how it's been. I just got...
You're pretty bad at that, figuring out how your week's been. That's something I've noticed over the course of this podcast.
Yeah, I don't know. I mostly remember what happened in a day. I think we should just talk about our days from now on. Just like,
how's your Monday been? Because we're recording this on Monday. It'll be out sometime on Tuesday.
Yeah. My Monday has actually been pretty good. Did some classwork. I did a Bionicle presentation in a college class, which was pretty nutty.
Whoa. What kind of Bionicle presentation? I need context here.
Ad. I talked about how effective the first Bionicle ad is as an advertisement.
Well, that's cool. That's not something I see in like YouTube video essays a lot. So that's a nice tack to take with it.
Yeah. It was and then also what else? I met up with a friend, and tomorrow I'm gonna go to a club. So probably gonna show some Kamen Rider and some Toku there.
Oh, sick! Is it a Tokusatsu club or
no, like a nerd club or something like that?
Oh, okay.
Something like that,
I was gonna say you should be that kid that just goes to the college anime club and is like, "You hear about Kamen Rider?"
Yeah, I would do that, but I would get kicked out of that college immediately. And we'll take a pause.
So the listeners won't notice because I truncate silence on this show, but I just had to run over to my nightstand because I keep fucking forgetting I have an alarm set for 8:30 to record this show on my phone, and half the time it goes off while we're recording.
Yeah. Yeah, last time we thought, I thought he was gonna go, do a prop, but this time just... whatever.
You know the drill by now. You know the dumbass you're dealing.
Yeah. How's that dumbass doing?
He's doing... okay, I've generally stayed positive today, but as far as work goes, this was a pretty shitty Monday because fuck TikTok, honestly. And I say that because apparently there's a TikTok challenge going around right now involving going into public restrooms, taking the soap out of the soap dispenser, and throwing it in either the toilets or the urinals. As a janitor, I have to deal with the aftermath of that.
TikTok does it. Sorry to get on TikTok right on the Power Rangers podcast, but TikTok, there's some good stuff on there. Unfortunately, the TikTok challenges are some of the dumbest things you will find. Yeah,
there's good comedy on TikTok, and before they banned it, there was some pretty good lewd, but It is basically a new Vine. It's the same thing I said about Vine way back when. The best Viners were comedians and porn stars because they knew exactly what to give you and exactly what the timing should be. But the challenges and stuff are just bizarre. And hey, it is kind of topical because the fucking stealing Michael Jordan's head challenge has now moved on to a freaking Jet Jaguar figure, which is. I wasn't interested in that figure, but I'd be pissed off if I was.
Yeah, that's pretty pissed. We don't have the link in the news section, but that just hurt my soul, man. Jaguar does not deserve that.
Yeah, it's disrespectful, just utterly disrespectful. But
disrespect,
to be slightly positive about it, real quick. I will say, because the few people I have told about this today have been like, oh God, I can't believe, why would kids think that's okay? Why would they do that? That's destruction of property, that's vandalism. And I'm like, yes, but when kids were my age, we were doing graffiti. When kids were my grandparents' age, they were driving around and hitting mailboxes with baseball bats. Every generation has a bullshit thing they do. It's just something that's got to happen. It's a pain in the ass, but it's a recurring necessary pain in the ass in order for
humanity.
Yeah, it's necessary for the generation to grow and mature. But that's enough philosophizing for a one podcast. If you want to hear some more philosophizing, though, definitely stick around Modular Media and help us out in the algorithm. If you're listening to this podcast, give us a like, comment on it, subscribe, and ring that bell if you're listening on YouTube. If you're listening on a podcasting app, please follow us. It helps us out on that algorithm. And just engage with all the different Modular Media podcasts. We've got this show, obviously, where we talk about Tokusatsu. We've got the No Prize podcast, where we talk about the MCU and general comic book related stuff. We've got MMWP, where we talk about all kinds of stuff from wrestling in the last week. And we've got Modular Components, where we just chill and shoot the shit for a couple hours every week. So whatever you're into, there's probably a podcast for you here on Modular Media. So definitely help us out. Give us a follow on the social media. We're at The Modular Media on Twitter, and we're r/Modular Media on Reddit. But that is all the plugging I needed to do for this week. So one last little bit of housekeeping here before we head into the news. This is your spoiler warning, folks. As of last week, the new episodes of Dino Fury have begun airing in the UK, and we are getting them and watching them, and we will be discussing them later in this show. I promise I won't be making any major spoilers thumbnails for the podcast going forward, but we will be discussing them later on, and this is the only spoiler warning you're gonna get, okay?
Yeah.
But if you are a US-based fan and you're a little disappointed or annoyed, kind of like I was, that the new episode that aired on Nickelodeon this week is one that's been on Netflix for fucking months, if you want to get a hold of the new episodes, I won't give you a direct link, but I'll just say if you go on Twitter and you look for a Gaoranger account that's into things that are broken, you'll probably find what you're looking for. That's all I'll say. So if you want to pause this, go watch the new episodes. There's your hint.
Also, sometimes they're up on Daily Motion.
Yeah. But let's go ahead and get into the news here with something a bit unfortunate, which is that recently a local hero started up in Japan via a Kickstarter campaign called Soldia, I think is how you're supposed to pronounce that.
Yeah, that's right.
And a lot of people immediately commented on the reveal of what the hero looks like after the Kickstarter campaign was successful and pointed out the design's a bit sus.
Yeah, if for those who can't see the design, it is basically a Kamen Rider 01 with like half of it's red, half of it's blue, and literally they didn't even bother coloring the yellow shoulder pads with an Agito belt.
And a lot of people were quick to comment this and point this out. Now, interestingly enough, Toei hasn't actually gotten involved. There's been no threat of legal action from Toei, but the people running the Twitter account for the local hero just went ahead and decided to suspend all activities for the time being until they could figure out whether or not Toei would give them the okay, or they would have to come up with an entirely new suit design. And we've had no updates yet. Though if you did contribute to the crowdfunding campaign for this by any chance, which I don't think we ever reported on, I don't keep track of local hero stuff too much, but this came across my radar. But if you did contribute to that crowdfunding campaign, you'll be receiving an email sometime in the not too distant future about how they're going to go forward with things. So hopefully we'll get an update on this.
Possibly a refund for those people.
Yeah, either a refund or just a new suit design, I would hope.
Yeah.
Because I'll admit, it looks cool, and it's a little crazy that they decided to shut it down just because people were suggesting it's similar, but, like, I do get it.
Yeah, you know, it is basically they just, like, bought a 01 suit or just recreated one, because look at the shoulder pads. Those are just 01 shoulder pads. Like, no changes whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly do dig the suit design. If this was like a Hyper Battle 01 form, I'd be into it.
Yeah. I mean, like, I feel like modifying is, like, fine if you're gonna, like, just do it for fun. But this is, like, for profit. People paid for this, and that's a bit oof.
Yeah. But speaking of things that are for profit, let's move into just a little smattering of Godzilla news this week, because after teasing it back at the 1/12 con at home, which was back towards the beginning of the summer, I believe, Mezco has finally revealed their ultimate Godzilla 18-inch mega scale figure, and it looks absolutely gorgeous. It's kind of casually based off of the legendary design, but there's a lot of classic influence as well, and it's just a big beefy boy because this is going to be an 18-inch tall and 33-inch long figure that will be solid plastic. There's going to be a light up mouth, light up dorsal fins, movable jaw. There's going to be sound, movie accurate sound, so presumably it'll be able to do the roll. There's going to be 10 points of articulation, which I saw a lot of people complaining, like, "Oh, that's way worse than Monster Arts. This thing is on par with Monster Arts." Yeah, it's not going for Monster Arts, y'all. This isn't meant to be ultra posable. This is meant to be a really good, really fully featured Godzilla figure that can be like your be-all, end-all, overall evergreen Godzilla, where if you're just going to get one Godzilla, this is the one you get. That's what this is going for.
Yeah.
And everything about it, even though it's a pretty insane price tag.
Yeah, it's literally the price of a PS5.
Or the price of a HasLab Galactus, I just realized, because it's $450 USD. But I think it justifies that price with all the stuff it's packing in and how big it's going to be. Because remember, 18 inches tall, that's about a head taller than an infant standing up.
Yeah. It actually knew about this before you put it on the thing, because a Godzilla fan I know was like gushing about this, being like, I have to mortgage my house or something like it.
Yeah, it looks really amazing. If I had the capital on me right now, because I don't own any Godzilla figures personally, this would probably be my be-all, end-all Godzilla. I put in a pre-order in it, and there's probably going to be plenty of time to put in pre-orders on this, because it's not shipping until around October of next year. So pre-orders are up on basically every nerd site you can think of. Entertainment Earth, Big Bad Toy Store, Dorkside Toys, HLJ, anywhere you want to get this figure from that you're comfortable with, you can probably do that. So if you wanna get it, if you don't have a Godzilla figure, there's plenty of time to save up, and I'd say this would probably be the one to invest in if you're just gonna get one.
Even though it's super, again, it's the price of a PS5.
Yeah. I'm not, and I'll just go ahead and clarify, I'm not going to be going in on it for the foreseeable future myself. I've kind of suspended a lot of spending for the time being for personal reasons that I'll be divulging at a later date. But yeah, let's go ahead and move on though, because we've got a good bit of Ultraman news this week. Starting off with the announcement of
announcements.
Yeah, the next Ultraman Connection Live will be happening on the 24th, which is in just a couple of days from when this is being recorded. It's going to be on YouTube, and it will be featuring a ton of special guests of actors from around the new generation era. There's going to be some reveals of SH Figuarts and announcements of future projects they've said, and basically it's the Hasbro Fan First events. It's that, but for Ultraman, and it's in celebration of them recently hitting a massive subscriber milestone on the YouTube, which I think is a pretty cool reason to do something like this.
Yeah, they're also debuting a director's cut of Ultra Galaxy Fight: The Absolute Conspiracy, and
which was a very good miniseries.
Yeah, I still haven't watched Absolute Conspiracy, but that name, it's so good.
Yeah.
Also, actually, if you don't mind, I didn't put this on. I should have told you ahead of time. PSA for anyone who's buying any of the modern Mill Creek sets. Okay, so Mill Creek have kind of been shitting the bed recently. The Gridman subs were only slightly improved from the Toku HD subs. So remember how I said, please have good subs? It did not have good subs.
Oof.
And now the Ultraman 80 and Ultraman anime sets don't have good subs. And also the Ultraman Tiga set has missing content and music.
That's pretty cringe, bro.
Yeah, and I not sure how the subs are gonna be on there. I hope they're good because we already have a standard for the Ultraman Tiga because there was a Funimation DVD set back in the day. But
I mean, with Tiga, the other ones I can't make an excuse for that. But with Tiga, I could almost think like maybe it's a Johnny's related thing with that music not being in
Johnny's is
there.
loosening up on lots of things, but and like the weird thing is they're including the rest of the show, but not the movie, which is kind of important to Trigger from what I hear.
Interesting.
Final Odyssey. That it's just
Maybe they wanna sell that separately or pack it in with Trigger when Trigger eventually gets a home release.
I don't know. They don't even have the license for Trigger. Like anything, they only have the license for up to Rube, Taiga, Zet, and Trigger. They don't have the license for any of that. What else? What else? Yeah, that's all I got. Just be wary if you're gonna buy those new Mill Creek sets. I don't recommend supporting them. Buy the pack. Like you can buy the past sets with like the good subs, but don't buy these like newer like sets. Like they're just we can't like, especially like we want legal releases, but we can't support these mediocre subs. We need quality control in these.
Okay.
That's all I got. Probably should have included like a link to some of the poor subs in the news, but I don't know what you're gonna do.
If you still want to give me a link after the show, I can put it on the topic list and have it in the video description along with all the other news links. Anything we talk about usually there's an article associated with it linked in the video description. But let's get things moving along again because we do have some positive Ultraman news to talk about here. The second ending song for Ultraman Trigger has been announced, which is going to be titled Those Who Look at Tomorrow, and it's going to be performed by the main triad of Trigger. The actors for Kengo, Yuna, and Akito will be singing it, and it will be premiering in I don't think they said what episode it's going to start showing up on, but it's going to be released on CD on November 24th. So no idea what it will actually sound like or if it'll be a good song, but I always enjoy when Toku actors get to sing insert songs and they are impactful towards the series' plot. I mean, Kamen Rider owes his Kino.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of like Phase 2 Kamen Rider, like they did that, like even Deno with like the double actions. But yeah, that's another story. But yeah, most Ultraman series these days have two ending songs. Taiga had two ending songs. Zed had two ending songs. So it makes sense for Trigger to get two ending songs.
I mean, Zed had two ending songs. The first one was pretty good. The second one was ass. And Trigger's
because that one was sung by the actors.
I didn't know that at the time, but I'll say it. I think I said it. I think I even said it last week. Trigger's first ending song has been ass in my opinion. So hopefully this song will be a bang. Keep that principle of at least one being really good going. Yeah. But moving on to a little bit of merch news. Hey, there's going to be some Chibi plushes from Shop Sunrise based on the Heisei era Ultramen. We are getting Agul, Gaia, Dinah, and Tiga in Chibi plush form. No photos yet, just art mock-ups, and yeah, they look like Chibi plushes. We've said before, these things are cool, but not something we'd collect outside of maybe one or two.
Yeah, and also I don't know where to easily buy them. We really probably should stop reporting on these plushies, but because they're like, well, all we just got is, they exist. It's cool. Moving on.
See, I kind of want to do that as well as the not the next article, but the two after that. I kind of want to stop reporting on that stuff, but my brain has this thing called you forgotism, which says if you don't put this in here, somebody's going to comment and say, hey, you forgot this.
Yeah, fair. We're just going to cover all our bases just for the sake of completionist.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of completionist, we have a new Kamen Rider Gaim Complete Selection Modification Lockseed set announced. We are getting the Pine Lockseed, the Ichigo Lockseed, the Sakura Lockseed, the Fresh Orange and Black Orange Lockseeds, the Black Lemon Energy Lockseed, and the Proto Gaim faceplate. And if you're at all confused by some of that stuff, maybe don't recognize it. Fresh orange is the hyper battle form for Gaim, and black what do they call that? That mix.
Black Lemon Energy.
Yeah, Black Lemon Energy is a stage show exclusive form. So they're going full completionist with this. It's not here's everything from the show. It's here's everything because we know you'll buy it.
Because Gaim is successful and people will buy that, and it will be offered on Premium Bandai and Bluefin if you are curious.
Yeah. I admit I do like the Pine Lockseed. I've always liked the sounds behind that one. I kind of wish they used it a little more in the show, but the rest of these I could kind of take or leave. This is very much just the auxiliary Kota Lockseeds.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're a huge Gaim fan, you'll definitely want these. But as somebody who I don't hate Gaim. I don't hate Gaim, but it's nowhere near my favorites.
Yeah, basically my same thoughts.
Yeah, this is an easy skip for me. Much like the announcements of hey Buster.
Yeah?
There's a new Toei show, and you know what that means, right?
Cosplay clothes?
Ridiculously expensive cosplay merch.
Aw, dang, I thought we finally got rid of the ridiculously expensive part.
Nah, this is P Bandai, baby. You wanna cosplay as a FENIX tribe operative? Sure, great. That'll be $5,000.
Aw, damn.
No, but for real though, I do like the look of the FENIX uniforms. They're pretty aesthetic as far as that kind of stuff goes, but
I just wouldn't buy it myself. Like unlike like Zox, where I'm slightly interested, this is like easy skip.
Yeah, definitely. But
what is probably going to be not as easy a skip, or going to be a painful skip?
We're getting basically a redux of the Oh, I forgot Xade's freaking name, the real name.
Emu Hojo?
Yes, we're getting a redux of Emu's outfit via P Bandai in collaboration with a fashion designer of some sort that I've never heard of. And also, along with that, Xade tennis shoes that look like freaking Sonic the Hedgehog shit.
And that's why I want it.
Yeah.
I don't care if I look ridiculous. Everyone's saying, oh, these shoes look ugly. Screw you.
No, they look like designer tennis shoes. I could picture the Young Bucks wearing these for the two of you who listen to MMWP and watch AEW. I could picture the Young Bucks coming out wearing these.
Yeah. If you need to know some statistics, the composition is made of 65% polyester and 35% cotton.
Sick.
Also, there's some parade clothes if you really like parade.
Ooh, yeah. But I'll let you take this next one though, pretty much entirely because I don't Saber.
Okay. Kamen Rider Saber, Trio of the Deep Sin, V-Cinext, which is probably gonna suck. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I like Saber. V-Cinexes have been kind of like I like the 01, like the Metsuno Jinrai one. I heard the Vulcan and Valkyrie one just came out on DVD and everyone hates it.
I'll probably watch it when it gets subbed.
Yeah, we're all gonna watch it when it gets subbed. We're gonna cover it because we already covered the first part. But oh boy,
I've seen the spoiler. We're not gonna say the spoiler, but I've seen the spoiler.
Yeah, I hope it's done well. That's all I'll say.
Mm-hmm.
We got we got a character, the person who played Argos / Kamen Rider Dark Ghost in the Ghost movie. We got Wakana's actress from Kamen Rider Double, and then I got a guy who hasn't been in much Toku, and we will see this movie, like, at least it will come out on DVD in May of 2022, so expect subs in June.
Sick.
Yeah, that's all I got. The returning cast is basically just everyone from Saber, so there.
All right, well, let's move into the Sentai news then, because hey everybody, you know how they did the Gaoranger model kits? They did the main Megazord or Mecha or whatever you want me to call it, and then they did the Six Ranger Mecha. Here's the auxiliary one. We're getting the Red Gorilla.
That from the movie.
Oh, that's from the movie?
Yeah, because why do you think they never used it in Wild Force?
I thought they did use it in Wild Force.
Wait, they did? I don't know. It could be. No, I don't think they did. I think he might.
Is this a recolor of a Zord that already exists?
Yeah, because the gorilla was green.
Okay, then I'm thinking of the green gorilla then. Okay.
Yeah, the gorilla was green in the show, but for the movie they decided to do like a red gorilla, which looks way better in my opinion. But
yeah, it's pretty sick. We're getting red gorilla. If you've been buying these and you like red gorilla has been revealed, and pre-orders are already up through Toku Collectibles, it looks like.
Yeah.
So get on that, Gaoranger fans.
Speaking of kinography, Jetman.
It's Jetman's 30th anniversary this year, and because of that, there has been some nostalgia merch revealed for P Bandai. We got some shirts, we got a hoodie, a tote bag, and I think that's it's a towel. We get a towel.
Looks like the character select screen. Like I guess they're trying to go with the Jetman NES game. That game was actually pretty good from what I hear.
Yeah, I like the white shirt with the silhouette of them flying.
I like the one where they're just standing, like doing the Jetman, like promotional pose.
The Breakfast Club pose.
Yeah, you could say. I really want that. I know it, Premium Bandai, dang it, and I wish Bluefin did Sentai stuff, but Hasbro.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say on that. I want that shirt, but I can't get it.
Yep. They look solid. They're solid stuff. Speaking of other solid things, Premium Bandai Limited has announced that we are getting even more Dark Sentai gears. It's going to be another Dark Sentai gear set for your dark gears, but dark. You want those? You order them through P Bandai. Here they are. It's 26 of them. Should I read off the list real quick?
Too many.
Okay.
I want to get to this next part. Should I say it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so Mighty Morphin Season 2 has started releasing on YouTube, but this is much better than other series Hasbro has started on YouTube, because with that, we'll just get an episode, and then an episode another week, and then maybe another week would pass and there'll be no episode, and then there'll be an episode. This, it's like, here's 13 episodes at once on a Friday, have fun, nostalgia, kids. And if this is how they're going to do not just MMPR, but all the other seasons, good shit.
Yeah, it's a solid release strategy, and like to potentially spoil more of my thoughts on MMPR that'll appear in future videos of mine. Season 2 is where MMPR really starts to pop off, because Day of the Dumpster, I gave it a glowing review because I think it is a genuinely good episode. But the rest of season 1 is like mid to trash, in my opinion, from my memory. I might change my mind rewatching the episodes for future reviews. Yeah. But season 2,
pretty cool.
Season 2, thank you. Season 2, there's a good smattering of like really good episodes. Some also of which Zed. Zed. Some of which were uploaded in this batch. The Mutiny is a great pilot. I like Welcome to Venus Island, and Green No More is a classic. It's a hood classic.
Yeah. Does that have the one where no, it's 2 parts. Yes, part 2 has the one where Tommy just goes at Goldar. I lost my powers. You know what? Screw it. I'm gonna fight you. that was great.
You are out of your mind.
And then this theme song queen. I'm not a Tommy Mark, but man,
it is one of the most Kino Tommy moments.
Yeah, if you're making a Tommy Kino compilation, you gotta include that there.
But we'll have a direct link for you to go and watch those episodes on YouTube in the video description with the news, if you want to.
Yeah. They also have on that channel Jungle Fury, Wild Force, and what was the other one?
MMPR Season 1.
Dino Thunder.
Yes.
If you want some non-MMPR variety. But anyway, should we get into the new releases?
Yeah, let's do it.
Alright, Ultraman Trigger, New Generation Tiga, Episode 9, The Wings of That Day. What do you think, Vac, of that day?
So this wasn't as hype as last week, but this was a really solid episode, and this is kind of where I think I'm starting to form my overall opinion of the series of this isn't a great show week to week, but I think it would be really good to binge. I'm not going to stop watching it and wait to binge it because I'm already in so deep, but if you haven't taken the chance on Trigger yet, maybe wait until it's finished.
Yeah.
Because this episode has a lot of really cool lore dumping in it. Like, okay, Buster, how spoiled do you want to be when you eventually go back and watch this?
I'm probably gonna watch it like after episode 10 happens, because there's some stuff I need to rant about when episode 10 comes around. But go ahead, just go spoil.
So this isn't actually. It's still a sequel to Tiga, but this isn't the Tiga universe.
What?
This is an alternate universe from Tiga.
Ooh.
And it's basically a similar universe where Tiga did not happen. And the way we find out is President Shizuma, that Akito's surrogate dad and Yuna's actual dad, he's from the Tiga universe.
Oh, that's why he knows Tiga.
Yeah. And he actually talks about Tiga, and we fucking see Tiga in this episode. We don't see the actor, but we see new suit footage of Tiga as he's like reminiscing.
Okay, I might have to pick up Trigger like after we finish recording this, because that sounds kind of hype.
Yeah, it's really cool and really interesting, and we also learn a lot about what the hell is up with Yuna and the whole Yuzure thing. And it's just a pretty solid episode, and I don't know if it's one we've seen before in like Tiga or not, but the monster design in this episode was fucking aesthetic, like perfect kaiju design in my opinion.
Nice. Seems like Trigger's finally finding its footing. Unfortunately, what I hear about episode 10 is like...
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, and they do hint at that in this episode, so it's gonna be interesting. We'll see how it plays out.
I saw the preview for it. Why do you have to Sakamoto?
Sakamoto gonna Sakamoto.
Anyway, time to talk about the good show.
You say that as if there's only one.
The peak fiction show. Like the rest of the shows we're talking about are good, but like this is the peak fiction show. The High School Heroes, episode 5. Heroes under arrest. The tragic battle of Gold and Red. Should we talk about this in episode 6 at once? Because
read off episode 6 real quick.
All right. The High School Heroes, episode 6. The silver shining brighter than the gold. The dramatic birth of the 6th hero. This kind of hype.
This was hype. I think it was maybe dragged out a little bit too much, but I did dig it, and I do think it justifies being a two-parter. It's like, it's an MMPR multi-parter where it's like, yo, this didn't need to be multi-part, but it does work as a multi-part.
And it benefits, I think, because you get some more time, and especially with like, we're gonna spoil this. They introduced this detective character, and then he dies in part 2. And it's like, I feel like now that we had more time with him, like, you know, that death really impacted us as it did Taisei.
Mm-hmm. And even with his special guest star presence and the more emphasized focus on our new air quotes 6th character, everybody has something to do in this story, because this is one story. It's straight up a two-parter.
Yeah.
But like we get a lot of cool investigative stuff from Ichika. We get the teacher helping them out with the club a whole lot. We get the mom has something to do other than just giving mom advice. Blue comes off as a really solid, intelligent second in command. We find out that Green has a knack for working on the weapons. And Yellow is also there.
Yeah. I mean, he's chill. He's chill. He's like the chill one.
No, he's cool. I dig his interactions with his sister in this episode, because she does some cool investigative stuff too, and he's always there with her.
Yeah, I think that was Green with...
Maybe I'm getting people mixed up. Whatever.
Yeah. It's a boy band.
Yeah. I'm really impressed with how dark this series is willing to go, and how like into potentially fucked up stuff this show gets, because we meet, like, the titles fully suggest it, folks, and if you're listening to this, you probably watched the High School Heroes, and if you haven't, what the hell are you doing with your life? Go watch the High School Heroes.
Yeah.
We meet our 6th Ranger this episode, and his backstory is that it's the student council president who's been threatening Red for the last 4 episodes, and his backstory is that he got suckered into being the student council president after the principal had his daughter enter into a relationship with him to lure him into the principal's grasp while she was posing as his teacher. Like, I know it's a very popular fetish and fantasy in Japan, but teachers and students having relationships like that, especially when it's a purely manipulative thing, still pretty taboo.
And they do like acknowledge it's taboo and like how bad it is. And it seems like that character will come back and like be a villain.
Mm-hmm.
And like some Japanese media glorifies it, and I don't like it or plays it for comedy, like bad comedy. But this treats it as kind of the effed up situation it is.
Yeah.
Like again, this isn't airing with superhero time, even though it's Toei produced and airs on TV Asahi. They can get away with a bit more, probably because of a later time slot. But like even so, I just like it. Like it. It's good stuff.
Honestly,
it's good dramatic stuff.
Honestly, my biggest complaint. Yeah. And honestly, my biggest complaint with the episodes is just I don't think the Six's suits is different enough from the others. And also, I wish at some point they had said something like, wait, there wasn't a 6 Gaoranger. What's going on here?
I think they're going to say that next episode. Or like maybe they're short on time because these episodes have a lot to establish and like do and like with the whole dramatic storyline. Kind of the Ichika episode was kind of like Taisei accepting not everything can be Gaoranger.
Yeah, that was something I did think of at work today, and I was about to bring that up. It would make sense if they just didn't mention it because it's like, oh, Taisei already learned that lesson.
Yeah. But yeah, I do agree they could have at least mentioned, and then he could have like corrected himself, like to show how far he's grown. But like,
I also do dig that even though there's 2 episodes left, they are doing the loner 6 Ranger trope. Like, we're probably going to spend all next episode having, oh gosh, I forgot his name. We're probably going to
Ora Huma.
Yeah, we're probably going to spend all next episode with them trying to get Aura to properly join the team, and he'll do it at the very end of the episode.
It seems like, I don't know, I think it seems like, he still will protect the student, he'll just be on his own for a bit, like, and then they'll all, like, come together, like, for the final, which, oh man, I don't think I'm ready for the show to go.
I saw a major spoiler screen cap for the final a couple days ago, and it looks pretty hype, I'll say that.
Yeah, like I saw like a screen cap of everyone helmetless, which is that's not really a spoiler. That's really a Sentai trope, and that's
that's always Kino.
Yeah, I was just like,
God damn, look at me! I'm friends with you for about 6 months, and I'm saying Kino every other sentence.
I don't think I adopted Kino until like 3 months ago. So
well, you've infected me with it. That's for sure.
Yeah, my darn millennial Zoomer tendencies.
That sounds like the title of a bad manga.
The millennial Zoomer tendencies. Yeah, maybe the title of this episode. We'll see.
It's a bit long. It's a bit long.
Yeah.
We'll figure something out.
We'll workshop it. But if you're not watching the High School Heroes, Google it.
You should be.
Yeah. I will mention, like, as I'm planning a video essay, I will mention who subs the show, but I'm not going to give any links because I don't want them to get in trouble. So, that's all I'll say. Speaking of subs, in a way...
should we get furious?
Yeah. Okay, so before I preface this, I've watched all these episodes in French last week.
Oh, merci beaucoup.
Yeah, I guess that's the only French thing you probably know. And, I watched these in French last week of English subtitles, and so my thoughts could be completely different based on, like, tone of the actors, so we'll see. I haven't watched episode 15 in French. I know there's, like, a sub going around. I have not watched that. I'm waiting for tomorrow when it comes out in the, like, English.
Yeah, I watched all these in English. I watched 12 and 13 on Sunday, and I watched 14 just this evening.
Yeah, the 14 came out today, so...
Yeah.
Let's start with episode 12 of Power Rangers Dino Fury, Super Hot Shot. What did you think, Vac?
I liked this episode. It's a pretty standard plot, and there's a certain thing in it that I have a massive nitpick about, or
just say
you might have a So Coach Bailey is a New Zealand actor that was dubbed, right?
I don't. I only watched the French thing.
Okay,
And I've
something
watched like a bit
about
of it. I think it's just. I think it's just she has like a different like kind of energy to her than everyone else.
something about like the lip flaps didn't look like they were quite matching to me, like from the get go. Because she comes in and goes, "Hey team, I'm Coach Bailey," and I had this visceral reaction of like, "No, you're dubbed. That's what you are."
Maybe it could be right. Maybe you're because you're watching the UK thing and like the altered speed and stuff. And
Entirely possible. I'm sure somebody will let me know.
yeah. But yeah, I honestly think this and 13 work better as a two-parter. But even
They're definitely a two-parter.
yeah, like I actually kind of like this trend Power Rangers is doing recently with like I think we got some of these in Beast Morphers where we get like indirect two-parters where like
We had
like,
some of that in Dino Charge as well.
yeah, definitely Dino Charge with like the Purple Ranger. Yeah. But like I like this trend of indirect tutors where it's not like part 1, part 2, part 3 because then like Ninja Storm, I love that season. It got ridiculous. We got like part 5s of like just like we got like a 4-parter in like the first
that's
10
right.
episodes.
I keep forgetting that MMPR isn't the only show that has a 5-parter.
Yeah. Like that was like in the like that we got that in the 10s and like we even got a 4-parter in the like the single digit episodes. The whole other rant. But yeah, that was a fun episode. I do like how they didn't redeem the coach. That was like, yeah, people are scummy like grease bags.
Sometimes are people shit. You just gotta tell them off and walk the other way.
I hope that she doesn't have an episode in the second season where they completely undo all that to just be like she's misunderstood. Can you tell I'm talking about Beast Morphers season 2?
Oh, did you not like the one the bribery? Episode? You didn't like the bribery girl coming back in Beast Morphers?
That was horrible.
I thought that was fine.
Okay, we can have this debate another day. But yes, Hotshot was pretty good. Love seeing more Sliver. He's pretty cool. Very sexy fella.
Yeah. Overall, a very solid episode, and it's cool seeing a renewed focus this season on the Rangers training physically, because like I feel like we got a little bit of that in Beast Morphers, but the last time I remember it being super prominent was Dino Charge, and even then it was just like, here's a montage of them training at the start of an episode random.
Yeah, it really feels like a great like. I like how this feels like a 2020s modernization of MPR in a way, but like in like a good way where it's like we're still gonna be a good season.
There's like, there's a lot that you can track back to MMPR, but it's kind of simplified and streamlined and moved around.
Yeah, and still takes stuff from like other seasons and does its own things with like stuff. Yeah, that's really like any Power Ranger season you can boil down to. It has like some roots in MMPR, but also no roots in other seasons. But then it does its own thing. But that's what you get with an iterative franchise. Let's talk about the gay one. Power Rangers Dino.
I kind of want to make that the title now, but that's kind of spoilery.
Yeah. Power Rangers Dino Fury, episode 13, Matchmaker. Okay, I'm thinking about this episode and I'm like, I'm a bit mixed on the plot they did, because I don't think the coming out episode should be like, oh, she likes a dude. That kind of doesn't rub me the wrong way. It rubs me the wrong way a bit, but like...
I can definitely understand and sympathize with that, but like... It's pretty realistic. Like, I can see this actually happening between a pair of siblings.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, Arthur did this plot with their episode about the teacher, like, getting married to a dude. God, or just Arthur. What is my life? But yeah, this was a really wholesome episode either way, despite the implications of the plot. Just, again, the plot itself was fine, and just the implications of, like, the base narrative. It just didn't sit right with me. But if you didn't been listening to us, Izzy is in a sapphic relationship with Fern, this girl that we saw last episode in Super Hotshot, and we also saw in episode 5 where she just kind of stared and didn't talk at all.
They're rivals. Oh my god, it's fucking
talk at all.
They're rivals. Oh my god, it's the thing that always happens in fanfiction, but it's canon of the rivals falling in love.
Yeah, I kind of wish we got a bit like I do like how it's just Fern is just a regular person. You know,
Mhm.
that's
Yeah,
wholesome.
that's good to show that the Rangers can have relationships outside of the team. And like,
Yeah. I do want like in one finale of Dino Fury, I want a scene where like Fern's in trouble and then Izzy like as a Green Ranger just saves and then just do that, please. I need
yeah,
that.
maybe not the finale, but like have that be a focus episode towards the end.
Yeah. I'm just
Uh,
figuring like a part one of a finale, but either.
yeah, and I do like how it was handled here. Like their date seems fairly banal, until Javi interrupts it. But
Yeah.
it seems very banal but cute, and it feels like they're very comfortable around each other rather than like, oh, it's an awkward, we're still trying to figure out if we actually like each other and like girls type of a thing that you see really often with fiction about this type of stuff.
Yeah.
It's just, nah, this is who they are and they're comfortable around each other and they just hadn't bothered to tell the rest of the team yet. But when they show it, everybody's perfectly accepting of it, and it's pretty cute, and I don't have any problem with it. And if you have a problem with it, maybe get the fuck away from my content.
Yeah. Accept the gay or get out.
Mm-hmm. Uh,
uh
I mean, it's also just a huge milestone for the franchise.
Yeah, I mean, we've had stuff like this in the comics or implied, but we've never really had something like Outward in the TV show, which is like
Mhm.
the main meat of the
Yeah,
franchise.
it's like putting it in a Star Wars video game versus putting it in a Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
Um, and okay, so I wanted to talk about the Izzy thing. It's not like I didn't want to, but I've been dancing around it all episode. Let's talk about the Void Knight face
Oh
reveal.
yeah, I was just about to mention that. Void Knight's a hot hobo.
Yeah. That
Hot
was
hobo Void
literally
Knight.
when I saw that GIF, like whenever it first aired in France. That was literally my reaction, was just the Squidward meme of, oh no, he's hot.
Yeah, and I love that. Like Void Knight's already one of my favorite characters. Also, like I love there's a scene before it where like Sliver has just a bunch of henchmen and trumpets, and just Void
Mhm.
Knight's like going. That cracked me up. I want more like visual gags like that in Power Ranger.
Yeah, the gong was great.
Yeah, like
Uh,
just wacky. Just give me some more like not like slapstick necessarily, just visual gags. Like
is it confirmed yet that that actor is just a straight up white dude? Because
yeah, he
he
could be.
looked a little Middle Eastern to me.
Yeah. Oh, that would actually be really cool. Because yeah, he did look a bit Lebanese. Because he did kind of look like he gives me like Nick from Mystic Force vibes.
Hmm.
Well, we'll
Uh,
see. When we get all those actor confirmations, so I can, I got Void Knight on my shelf, so that would be pretty cool to have one of my favorite suits in the show be played by a Middle Eastern actor. So, um,
uh, I mean, like it's cool now that we know what Void Knight looks like, and it's fun to speculate more about him. I will say, however, I think they maybe did this a little too soon in the show, and definitely did it the wrong way. Because I don't like that he just takes the helmet off in private. Like, it makes sense in an in-universe kind of way, but like, imagine if we just knew about the wife thing, and then like maybe a few episodes from now or in the season finale, they break Void Knight's helmet and
oh yeah,
we see his face and they're like, what the fuck, he's a human?
yeah, I think that would be more impactful and like I kind of I feel like this was the wrong episode to do it because we already kind of like oh we got the gay people but like
Because
and then
it's a lesson of the week for Javi, an important lesson of the week for kids, by the way.
yeah
Like it is awkward and maybe a bit cliche to do this storyline, but again, like I said, it's realistic and it's a good lesson for kids. Um,
yeah
and also first gay character in the franchise, and also here's Void Knight's face.
yeah a lot happened this episode and we got some good fights and stuff we
Mhm.
haven't really talked about like the fight choreography in the show's good we like but yeah, that's all we got. We haven't really been talking about like the Ranger kind of stuff minus like Void Knight, but like that's fine. I think we're about to
Mhm.
go into like big Ranger heavy stuff with this next episode, but yeah. But yeah, I really like. I think this is the stronger of this indirect two-parter. Definitely not because of the reveal, just because I just found it a more entertaining episode.
Yeah.
Um,
it feels much more like overall solid episode. Like the worst thing I can say about it is again just the Void Knight face reveal feels a bit shoved in.
Yeah, just feel like, hey, we want to cram so much stuff to get people talking about this episode. Frick you, Void Knight reveal.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm pretty happy with this episode. Probably gonna be it's very much a season highlight. I know people have been like kind of like dissing Izzy's, being like, oh, like she was bad in the episode 5, but everyone is like, I don't love episode 5 of the show.
Izzy potentially my favorite ranger of this show. I don't know why people don't like Izzy.
Yeah, I guess like because she's like like she says like cringe, and I'm like, come on, guys.
Oh no, she talks like a realistic teenager, and she's a teenager in a TV show that's going to be shown to kids. How fucking terrible.
Honestly, when I heard that, I was like, "Oh, finally, the boomers are out."
Yeah,
like this doesn't feel like a boomer writing a line. This feels like legit, like millennials writing a line. At least that's how it came to me.
Yeah, I mean, Becca Barnes is on the young side, from what I remember, and she's written a lot of the episodes with Izzy.
And like Simon Bennett, yeah, he's like, he's not sorry to complain about age, but he's not like he knows what's up. He's good with the kids. Especially because he has to interact with them a lot on Twitter, but that's a whole other story.
Yeah, we've been dancing around talking about stuff like that as much as possible, but like people be fucking nice to Simon Bennett on Twitter because he doesn't have to have a Twitter, and increasingly we're making him feel like he shouldn't have a Twitter.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was a pretty cool episode with just like one massive nitpick from me, and like, hey, like you were saying, the great thing about Izzy so far is she has been a double shot of outing stupid motherfuckers. We've outed the boomers, and now we've outed the homophobes.
Yeah. Yeah. And now time to talk about the other boomer episode. Power Rangers Dino Fury, episode 14, Old Foes. So a couple episodes ago, when we said the Lord Zed thing was fake,
I thought it was fake. I saw a very convincing breakdown of like, no, this is a cosplayer composited into a shot.
Okay, fair. I kind of find that funny how you say this, and this week a fake deep fake anymore.
Fake deep fake. Oh yeah, that's right. That was another impressive thing about High School Heroes this week. To wind back for a second.
No, not that. I was talking about like real life Spider-Man. Oh, I was talking about that. Whatever. I was comparing this to whatever. Okay. Let's just Zed's back, and my main for Battle for the Grid is back. Hooray! Vac, go off.
I don't hate it.
Ooh.
I don't like it. I don't agree with it, but I accept it.
Yeah. But talk about your pre-thoughts, because I think this is like after you watched the episode.
My pre-thoughts were, oh god damn it.
Yeah, same.
Because like the best thing about that episode of Beast Morphers, where they bring back all the Dino Charge bads, is pointing out like, hey, if we bring back Zed, that would be a giant fucking problem, so let's not do that. So when I saw the leak of Zed's back with no context because it was in French, I went, so did they just forget that episode of Beast Morphers? Granted, here there is a fairly solid explanation for why it's okay here, because it's a different monster bringing him back. And they put a control collar on him for most of the episode. And he does escape at the end, and we don't know what's up with him currently. So it's highly likely he'll be coming back. It's highly likely there's a crossover we don't know anything about yet that he'll be coming back for, I would guess.
Simon says no crossovers, but like, who knows? He could be hiding something. What else? Okay, let's just talk about Zed's portrayal in this episode. I was very worried. I watched it in French, so I did get to hear Andrew Lang, aka the voice of Venjix and Evox, voice Zed. I only saw clips.
He's extremely okay as Zed.
Yeah, I kind of like it a bit more because Venjix is one of my favorite Power Rangers villains, so it's cool to see him voicing another one of my favorite Power Rangers villains.
And he's kind of just doing the Venjix voice, but it's a bit more growly and there's a different filter on it.
Yeah, it more sounds like the Evox voice actually.
Okay,
but just a better version of the Evox voice because I kind of hate the Evox voice. I mean, sorry for more Beast Morpher slander. I swear I like season 1. Anyway,
One day we'll hash it out. One day.
yeah, one day we'll have the great debate. Anyway, I really like Zed's portrayal in this episode because I watched the subs, so I paid attention to his dialogue, and like I just loved him just going around calling people stupid, and then when he gets free at the end of the episode, he just starts beating everyone up. He doesn't even use the Zed staff to just beat everyone up like in Battle for the
Yeah,
Grid.
he freaking says you're lucky they didn't bring back my staff.
Yeah, and he just goes and grabbing people and just like chucking them around, and it's the greatest thing ever.
I mean,
And
it is kind of great as fanboy wish fulfillment because we barely saw Zed fight anyone in the first 6 seasons, and here he gets a couple full-blown action scenes, and they look pretty good.
yeah, I actually think I think it's probably just like different action team than like what we're kind of used to because again the new people are on Dino Fury, and I just generally love the very acrobatic like action scenes of the series. So
I do really like the new suit too. Like a lot of people were saying it's too muscly. I think it's just muscly enough.
Yeah, it's a really good like recreation. Also, so when they showed clips, also they showed a Beast Morphers clip, which could be hinting at something, but I don't know what. Back to that thing about crossovers. This is solely a positive for me because I see everyone else hating this. I love this thing. They brought back the Dark Rangers. It's not like in suit. They just showed a clip of them. They brought back the goofy Dark Rangers.
The Dark Rangers to the Lightning Collection confirmed.
Well, that. But I just love how they're just like, yeah, just show them. Because I like how Power Rangers is not afraid to be, like, show its goofy, kind of silly roots. That just shows me, like, oh, they get it. They get what I like about Power Rangers. Like, what, because, like, I know a lot of people like Power Rangers for its, like, storytelling or, like, like, it's a superhero alternative or even that's darker stuff. But like I just love it when it gets goofy. I dig that stuff, but I just love it when it just gets goofy. So it's just seeing them acknowledge what probably is the goofiest part of season 2 is just chef's kiss. I love it.
Yeah, it's a really cool thing, and like I know you didn't get to hear them yet, but I think the dub voices are mostly okay because we do get quite a bit of dubbing over of that footage.
Okay, there's an explanation for that. Saban screwed up the Masters.
Oh yeah. We've talked about that before.
Oh, we did?
Yeah, we talked about that.
Maybe not on the show.
I feel like we talked about it on this show, but just in case,
we didn't really have a reason to talk about it.
Okay, so way back in the day when they were making Power Rangers, they didn't edit it multi-track. All the audio is just squished together, so it's a pain in the ass to isolate out the dialogue, the sound effects, the music, anything. So it's easier for them when they're reusing those clips to just go back and redub them rather than re-edit the audio to be the way they need it to be for the clips they're showing, which is understandable.
There's also some music rights, and it's just a pain. And Saban, why the hell do you do what you do?
It's okay. They can't hurt us anymore. They're gone now.
Yeah, hopefully. But yeah, also I love how this also doubles as a progression for Ollie, because I love how this episode let Zed be Zed, which is a problem I had with Beast Morpher 2 cameos. Beast Morpher Season 2 cameos, and it's just, I love how not only does it let Zed be Zed, like, let him be cool, and the character, it also progresses our new Rangers, like Ollie. And this probably cemented Ollie as one of my favorites this season. Not the favorite, but one of my favorites. Because he's snarky, and he doesn't want to admit it, and he's kind of forced to admit it, and it's great stuff. And I heard, like, from, like, Aki, our fellow viewer of the show, that, like, because he watched the episode 15, I heard that episode also gives some good stuff.
That's cool. I don't know if I'm as hype overall on this episode with you. Like, he had a couple pretty cringe lines, in my opinion. But I do like the how he's basically Scrappy-Doo in this episode going, let me at him. I can take him so on until I was like, bitch, you do not know who the fuck that is.
Yeah, I love how he's just like, he's just automatic Chad for me. Just because he was just willing to go up to Zed, he's like, I can take him. And
he's got a little bit of Carter Grayson in him.
Yeah, and I kind of wish that they let him at him. Like, yeah. Mm-hmm. So these episodes were pretty good. We're probably gonna have more to this. I think we're gonna have like 4 to discuss next week because like we got like they release an episode every day, and we're just gonna plow through them as soon as they're available in English. We're talking about them. That's the new rule. We keep talking about like, oh, how are we gonna handle new Dino Fury releases every time there's a release, and it's like,
it's unpredictable. Until the Nick contract is officially ended, we're just going to have to talk about stuff as soon as it's available in English.
Yeah, that's going to be our rule. If it's in English, we're talking about it, even if it's not in our country.
Mm-hmm.
We had to go over to our friends ever at the UK to watch it and totally not pirate it. We swear.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'll buy. I haven't bought any. Oh, I bought the Morpher. I bought some merch. I gave you some money, Hasbro. Calm down.
Yeah, I bought like every figure minus Boom Tower so far, so I think I'm good.
And that's the other thing. Like I talked last week about how I ripped all those episodes that got uploaded to YouTube, and I did that again with the season 2 episodes this week. I'm planning to buy the DVDs in the not too distant future, just so I can have them for visual aid in potential future videos.
Yeah, just for the nice collectors. It's just nice to have like some DVDs on your shelf. At least that's me. I just like DVDs.
Yeah. Also, like this is more an overarching thing, and this is kind of tied into why I'm suspending spending on toys for right now. I do want to kind of refocus my collecting on more like physical media and also just improving my wardrobe at the moment. But that's a whole subtopic, other thing that I'm going to talk about it more in depth in a thing on my own in the not too distant future. So that's the last I'll say about that this episode.
Yeah.
Let's buddy up.
Yeah, buddy up. Kamen Rider Revice, Hostage Trouble. Kamen Rider Revice, Episode 3, Hostage Trouble. What will the brothers do? What's with me in the spooky voice today? Anyway, I'm vibing with Revice now. I feel like they've toned down Vice. I don't love him. I tolerate him.
Well, here's the thing. I feel like that they were always going to tone down Vice. I feel like it's totally diegetic because remember, the first episode, Vice was just totally wild and a brand new thing. Second episode is all about Iki taming Vice. And now here, Vice is tamed, so he's a little more reined in, not quite as zany and all over the place as he was at the start.
Yeah.
We'll see if it stays that way, but that's how it feels right now.
Yeah. I feel like now we're kind of at like, okay, I don't love this character, I tolerate him, and like now I can appreciate the other aspects of the show. Like I just like the villains, they don't do much right now, but I just like how kind of charismatic they are.
Yeah, they have a good presence to them. I'll give them that. Though the female villain definitely leaves something to be desired because she's literally just sitting there waiting for her husband to appear.
Yeah, that's a bit yikes. What else? I just like Iki still continues to be a pretty cool protagonist. I love when we get some development for Daiji in this episode about like
it's very much a Daiji heavy episode.
Yeah.
And getting more insight into how FENIX works and they treat their employees.
Yeah, we also got like a tease for the next driver they're gonna like showcase in the series, which is that gonna be Daji's driver? Some people speculated it might be for Vice. Who knows?
We shall see. I also just really like how now she's obviously gonna be back next week and potentially she'll be a reoccurring character throughout the series, but so the plot of this episode is that the monster kidnaps the female sibling, Sakura, that's her name, and her best friend. And like there's just a nice little moment where we see Iki stuttering in front of her. So it's like, oh, he has a crush on her and probably has for a while now, but they don't make a big deal out of it. It's not the plot of the episode of, oh, he's got to save he's got to save his childhood crush. It's just a nice little bit of character subtext there to clue you in a little bit more about the kind of person Iki is. And I feel like we're gonna do more with that later on.
Yeah. Especially if they decide to go from 0 to 100 after episode 16, which I kind of feel like they're going to do. Reiwa Rider's kind of been like, okay, from 0 to 100, let's go after episode 16. Like 01 did it, Saber did it, you know. I think it's expected.
And we have 16 gimmick items to collect right now, is that right?
Technically, like, how many riders are there? I think there will be a gimmick item for every rider.
There's got to be like almost 100 riders you could make gimmick items for that have appeared in the show.
My main riders, I think.
Oh, well, then there's roughly 50.
Yeah, and then then they have like, you know, we could probably look at the like, because every end of the episode they show like, oh, how many stamps like Iki's collected
and how many he has left.
Yeah, so we could probably just count that.
It's probably the amount of main riders there are.
Yeah,
That's
so around 30
probably what it is.
stamps, and some of them are going to be super forms, I suspect.
Yeah.
Or movie forms.
Mhm.
Also
Oh, at
the
least
Deno
one of
form.
them's going to be a movie form. The Deno form was okay. I haven't seen Deno, so like I got the Deno references because they're the Deno references that they always use, but I was just like, all right, whatever.
Yeah, it didn't hit me as hard as the double one, just because, and also just like I feel like the double suit in general, like for Revice, is really good just because of the coat. Just like the
Yeah.
coat enhances that suit so much, and
Um,
yeah,
I did actually dig the CGI mammoth. I thought that was pretty cool.
yeah. Although apparently Vice is like on his crotch.
Oh
really,
man.
they're really just doing all the sex.
That's the title of the episode. All the
No,
sex positions.
no, we're not doing that.
All right. I'll come up with something else.
All right. But, like, look, it might get us views, but no, especially because Power Rangers is gonna be the thumbnail.
All I'm saying is Ultraman Gone Sexual is our most viewed episode.
Okay, fair, but anyway, yeah, what else was? Oh yeah, the villain. He was just like he was pretty. Yeah, that was a pretty interesting message to decide to do villain. I'm not sure if I
Oh
like
yeah,
it.
it's another episode this week where the bad guy is just some scummy dickhead.
Yeah, and like he does have like a slight point, because like, oh, the world sucks, the puny it's hard to get food on the table, and they don't say he has a family, but it's implied.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I think that's interesting, especially because the family theming.
Yeah.
And I do I like that. I'm not like,
Mhm.
but they do still make it clear. Oh yeah, this guy's not right. Yeah, he's the way he's going about like expressing his dislike of the working class, or not the the rich, is not the what we be doing.
Yeah. Speaking of family stuff, though, I did really enjoy the scene towards the beginning of them trying to get Iki to sign away the bathhouse, and the
Oh.
dad getting involved, and like the whole clientele having to stop him from doing it.
Yeah, just like everyone just going like everyone was just throwing hands. Pretty great.
Mm-hmm. Also, I think it's the first time I've seen a Hanko be used in Tokusatsu.
A what?
Oh, do you not know what a Hanko is?
No.
So in Japan, you don't sign things the way we
Oh, the
think of
Hanko
signing things.
stamp.
Yeah,
Oh.
like he's trying to sign it by pressing down his Hanko stamp. You can see it in his hand, and they're like grabbing him and pulling his arm back.
Oh. Because I do know about the stamping thing. Kind of funny because this series is collectible gimmick a stamp.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think I'm warming up to Revice. Even then, now this episode, now that I've had time to think about it, I think more highly of episodes 1 and 2 because there's a lot of great stuff. My only issue is Vice, but even then, who knows what can happen with that. And there's still good stuff being done with Vice, like the whole in episode 2 when he was that whole plot. His personality was kind of insufferable in that episode, but like the way his actions were very interesting. And yeah, I think I'm vibing with Revice. Probably not gonna be like a top tier season, but it'll be a good one.
Yeah, it's definitely found its footing, and its footing is pretty solid at the moment.
Yeah, I'm very interested to see what the next few episodes are gonna do. Very excited for when the Fies form debuts, because that's going to be the expensive hover bike stamp.
Yeah, was that in the next episode preview? I feel like I saw an image of that going around this week.
I think they didn't show it in the preview, only the preview image.
Okay.
And then for Kikai Sentai Zenkaiger episode 28,
nothing.
We don't have it.
Absolutely nothing. It has not been subbed at the time of this recording, so we can't talk about it.
Let me explain this. So this episode revolves around manga panels. Manga panels are a bitch to translate. That's basically the explanation. And also, I did not watch any Jungle Fury or Nexus, so you're not going to be hearing any old thoughts from me.
Yeah. So that's gonna be it this week. We don't have anything else to talk about. So Buster, go ahead and let the good people know who you are and where they can find your content should you want them to.
What's up? I'm Buster Corp. I do video essays and memes on the internet. I recently did 2 videos on Undertale and Deltarune because Deltarune Chapter 2 came out, and also a Scott the Laws ship post because it seems like all people just want Scott the Laws for me, and I don't like that. But it's fine. You got like what you like, and just
coming next summer from Buster Core, the 5-hour Scott the Laws analysis.
Oh God, in your dreams. Yeah, but yeah, subscribe to the Buster Corp YouTube channel. See all my stuff. And yeah, what do you do, Vac?
Hey everybody, I'm a YouTuber called The Vacuuminator. I make videos about all kinds of stuff, but most recently I've made a review of the very first episode of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Day of the Dumpster. If you want to check out my thoughts on that from the 28 years later perspective of somebody who wasn't even alive when it first aired, go check that out at youtube.com/The Vacuuminator. It's spelled TheVacuuminator. Also follow me on Twitter at The Vacuuminator and follow me on Instagram for daily action figure photography at _Vacuuminator. But that is going to do it for this week in Tokusatsu. We hope you have all enjoyed hanging out with us and hearing all our thoughts on the stuff. And we hope you'll join us next week to find out whatever happens that week in Tokusatsu.